हेलो दोस्तों। वेलकम टू डिस्नी क्लासेस। डिस्नी क्लासेस में आपका स्वागत है। आज हम लोग आपको आईआईटी जेईई के सिलेबस के बारे में बताएंगे। बच्चों, देखिए, किसी भी एग्ज़ाम को निकालने के लिए सबसे जो इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ है वो है उसके सिलेबस से रूबरू होना। एज मच एज यू नो द सिलेबस, यू इजीली क्वालिफाई द एग्ज़ाम। जितना ज़्यादा आप सिलेबस को अपने आप में संभाल लेते हो, उस पे पकड़ बना लेते हो, आपका इस एग्ज़ाम को निकालना उतना आसान हो जाता है। वेन एवर देर एग्ज़ाम, जस्ट स्टिक विद द सिलेबस। सिलेबस से बाहर कुछ नहीं आता है। सिलेबस करना है, पीवाईक्यू लगाना है, आपके क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व करने हैं। प्रैक्टिस, प्रैक्टिस मेक्स परफेक्ट। खूब घिसना है, खूब मेहनत करना है और खूब सारे सफलता पाना है बच्चों। सो जीवन में सफलता पाते रहिए एंड शेयर करते रहिए। जीवन में आप लोग आगे बढ़ जाइएगा। ठीक, चलिए, तो प्यारे बच्चे लोग, सिलेबस को डिस्कस करते हैं। एंड देखिए बच्चे लोग, सिलेबस फॉर जेई मेन 2025। अगर हम लोग मैथमेटिक्स की बात करते हैं तो पहला जो है आपका सेट्स एंड रिलेशन एंड फंक्शन। तो ये सारी चीज़ आपके पकड़ में होनी चाहिए। जितना ज़्यादा आप इस पे पकड़ बनाइएगा उतना ज़्यादा आपको सीखने को मिलेगा। तो sets, relation, union, intersection, complement of sets, their algebraic property, power set relation, types of relation, equivalent relation, function one into onto function, the composition of function। ठीक है, अब हम लोग देखेंगे जो यूनिट 2 में आपका है वो है आपका मैथमेटिक्स में कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर। जेड इक्वल टू ए प्लस आई बी, रियल नंबर प्लस इमेजिनरी नंबर। Complex number is an ordered pair of reals representation of complex number in the form a plus ib and their representation in a plane, Argand diagram, algebra of complex number, modulus and argument or amplitude, a complex number, quadratic equation in real and complex number system and their solution, relation between roots and coefficient, nature of roots, the formation quadratic equation with given rule. Unit 3, matrices and determinants. Matrices, algebra of matrices, determinants, order, 2 और 3, evaluation of determinants, area, triangle। तो ये सब आपको matrices के अंदर पढ़ना है। adjoint and inverse of matrix, test of consistency and solution, simultaneous linear equation in 2 or 3 variable using matrices, permutation combination, the fundamental principle of counting, permutation and combination, meaning of PNA, permutation, combination, single application, binomial theorem and its simple application, binomial theorem for positive integral, index, general term and middle term and simple application, sequence and series, arithmetic and geometric progression, insertion of arithmetic and geometric means between two given numbers, relation between arithmetic mean, geometric mean, limit, continuity and differentiability, real valued function, algebra of function, polynomial, rational trigonometry, logarithmic, exponential function, inverse function, graph, simple function, limit, continuity and differentiability, differentiation of the sum, difference, product, quotient of two function, differentiation of trigonometric, inverse trigonometric, logarithmic, exponential, composite and implicit function, derivative of order up to 2, application of derivatives, rate of change of quantities, monotonic, increasing and decreasing function, maximum minimum function and one variable. Integral calculus. Integral as an antiderivative. Fundamental integrals involving algebraic, trigonometric, exponential and logarithmic function. Integration by substitution, by parts and by partial fraction. Integration using trigonometry identity. Evaluation of simple integral of its type. So these are the integration we have to learn. The fundamental theorem of calculus, property of definite integral, evaluation of definite integrals, determining area of the region bounded by simple curve in a standard form. Differential equation, ordinary differential equation, their order and degree, the solution of the differential equation by the method of separation of variable, solution of a homogeneous and linear differential equation, derivative. Coordinate geometry, Cartesian system of rectangular coordinate in a plane, simple plane distance formula, section formula, locus and equation of the slope of a line, parallel and perpendicular line, intercept of a line on the coordinate axis, a straight line, various form of equation of a line, intersection of a line, angles between two lines, condition for concurrence of three line, the distance of a point form of a line, coordinate of the centroid, orthocenter and circumcenter of a triangle. Circle, conic section, a standard form of equation of a circle, the general form of the equation of a circle, its radius and center, equation of a circle when the end point of a diameter are given. Points of intersection of a line and a circle with the center of a origin and section of conic equation and the conic section, parabola, ellipse and hyperbola in a standard form. So 11 unit, it will 3-dimension geometry, coordinates of a point in a space, the distance between 2 points, section formula, direction ratio and direction cosine, and the angle between two intersecting lines, equation of a line, skew lines, the shortened distance between them and its equation. Unit 12, vector algebra, vector and a scale, the addition of vectors, components of a vector in 2-dimension and 3-dimension spaces, scalar and vector products, statics and probability, measure of dispersion, calculation of mean, median, mode of grouped and ungrouped data, calculation of a standard deviation, variance and mean deviation for grouped and ungrouped data, probability of an event, addition of multiplication theorem of probability, Bayes theorem, probability distribution of random variable. Trigonometrical identities and trigonometrical function, inverse trigonometric function, their properties. So this is for mathematics. Hello brainy. Next plastic hello. Learn the science and तो यहाँ पे हमारा बच्चे लोग मैथ का सिलेबस कंप्लीट होता है. नेक्स्ट हम लोग फिजिक्स का सिलेबस को देखते हैं. ठीक है पहले बच्चे लोग चलिए. सो यूनिट and measurement unit and measurement system of units. So we have several faculties for math section, physics section, chemistry section. So each teacher will guide you respective points and cover the respective topics. Fundamental and derivative units, list count, significant figure, error in measurement, dimensions of physics, quantities, dimensional analysis and its implication. Kinetics, the frame of reference, motion in a straight line, speed and velocity, uniform and non-uniform motion, average speed and instantaneous velocity, uniformly accelerated motion, velocity time, position time graph, relation for uniformly accelerated motion, relatively velocity, motion in a plane, projectile motion, uniform circular motion. Unit 3, law of motion, force and inertia, Newton's first law of motion, momentum, Newton's second law of motion, impulse, Newton's third law of motion, law of conservation of linear momentum and its application, equilibrium of concurrent forces, static and kinetic friction, laws of friction, rolling friction, dynamics of friction, circular motion, centrifugal force and its application. Vehicle on a level circular road, vehicle of banked road. Now we need for work energy power. Work done by a constant force and a variable force, kinetic and potential energies, work energy theorem power. The potential energy of a spring, conservation of mechanical energy, conservative and non-conservative forces. Motion in a vertical circle, elastic and inelastic collision, and 1 and 2 dimension. Rotational motion, center of mass of two particle system, center of mass of a rigid body, basic concept of a rotational motion, moment of a force, torque, angular momentum, conservation of angular momentum and its application. The moment of inertia, the radius of gyration, values of moments of inertia for simple geometrical objects, parallel and perpendicular axis theorem and their application. Equilibrium of rigid body, rotation and equation of rotational motion, comparison of linear and rotational motion. Unit 6, gravitation, the universal law of gravitation, acceleration due to gravity and its variation with altitude and depth, Kepler law of planetary motion, gravitational potential, energy, gravitational potential, escape velocity, motion in a satellite, orbital velocity, time period and energy of satellite. Properties of solids and liquids. Elastic behavior, stress strain relationships, Hooke's law, Young's modulus, bulk modulus and modulus of rigidity. Pressure due to fluid column, Pascal law and its application, effect of gravity on fluid pressure, viscosity, Stokes law, terminal velocity, streamline and turbulent flow, critical velocity, Bernoulli principle and its application. Surface energy and surface tension, angle of contact, excess of pressure across a curved surface, application of surface tension, drops, bubble and capillary rise. Heat, temperature, thermal expansion, specific heat capacity, calorimetry, change of a state, latent heat, heat transfer, conduction, convection and radiation. Thermodynamics, thermal equilibrium and the concept of temperature, zeroth law of thermodynamics, heat, work and internal energy. The first law of thermodynamics, isothermal and adiabatic process. The second law of thermodynamics, reversible and irreversible process. Unit 9, kinetic theory of gases, equation of a state of a perfect gas, work done on compressing a gas, kinetic theory of gases, assumption, the concept of pressure, kinetic interpretation of temperature, RMS, speed of a gas molecule, degree of freedom, law of equipartition of energy and application of a specific heat capacity gases, mean free path, Avogadro number. Oscillation and waves, unit 10. Oscillation and periodic motion, time period, frequency, displacement as a function of time, periodic function, simple harmonic motion and its equation phase, oscillation of a spring, restoring force and force constant, energy in SSM, simple harmonic motion, kinetic and potential energy, simple pendulum, derivation of expression for its time period. Wave motion, longitudinal and transverse waves, a speed of a traveling wave, displacement relation for a progressive wave, principle of suspension of waves, reflection of waves, standing waves in a string and organ pipes, fundamental mode and harmonic widths. So this come under the unit 10. Now unit 11 student, electrostatic. Electric charges, conservation of charge, Coulomb's law, force between 2-point charges, forces between multiple charges, superposition principle and continuous charge distribution, electric field due to point charge, electric field lines, electric dipole, electric field due to dipole torque on a dipole in a unique electric field, electric flux, Gauss law and its application to find field due to infinitely long uniformly charged straight wire, uniformly charged infinite plane sheet and uniformly charged thin spherical cell, electrical potential and its calculation for a point charge, electrical dipole and system of charge potential difference, equipotential surfaces, electrical potential energy of a system of 2-point charges and electric dipole in an electrostatic field. Conductors and insulators, dielectric and electric polarization, capacitors and capacitance. The combination of capacitors in series and parallel and capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor and with and without dielectric medium with plate energy stored in a capacitor. Now in unit 12, current, electricity, electric current, drift velocity, mobility and their relation with electric current, Ohm's law, electric resistance, IV characteristics of ohmic, non-ohmic conductors, electric energy and power, electric resistivity and conductivity, series and parallel combination of resistors, temperature dependence of resistor, resistance, internal resistance, potential difference and EMF of cell, combination of cell in series and parallel, Kirchhoff's law and their application, Wheatstone bridge, meter bridge. Unit 13, magnetic effect of a current and magnetism, Wyatt-Savart law and its application to current carrying circular loop, Ampere's law and its application to infinitely long current carrying a straight wire and solenoid, force on a moving charge in uniform magnetic and electric field, force on a current carrying conductor in a uniform magnetic field, The force between two parallel current carrying conductors. Definition of ampere. Torque experienced by a current loop in a uniform magnetic field. Moving coil galvanometer. Its sensitivity and conversion to ammeter and voltmeter. Current loop as a magnetic dipole and its magnetic dipole moment. War magnet as an equivalent solenoid. Magnetic field lines. Magnetic field due to a magnetic dipole bar magnet along and its axis and perpendicular to axis. Torque on a magnetic dipole in a uniform magnetic field. Bar die and ferromagnetic substance with example the effect of temperature on magnetic property. Electromagnetic induction and alternating current. Electromagnetic induction, Faraday's law, induced EMF and current, Lenz law, eddy current, self mutual inductance, alternating current, peak and RMS value of alternating current, voltage, reactance and impedance, LCR, series circuit, resonance power in AC circuit, wattless current, AC generator and transformers. Unit 15 we have to learn electromagnetic waves. Displacement current, electromagnetic waves and their characteristics, transverse nature of electromagnetic waves, electromagnetic spectrum, radio waves, microwaves, infrared, visual, ultraviolet, X-ray, gamma rays, application of electromagnetic waves. Unit 16 student, you have to learn, you have to know optics. Very interesting and very much application in all physics and science. Reflection of light, a spherical mirror, mirror formula, refraction of light and a plane and a spherical surfaces, thin lens formula and lens maker formula, total internal reflection and its application, magnification, power of a lens, combination of thin lenses in contact, refraction of light through a prism, microscope and astronomical telescope, reflecting, refracting and their magnifying powers. Wave optics, wave front and Huygens principle, laws of reflection and refraction. Using Huygens principle, interference, Young's double slit experiment and expression for fringe width. Coherent source and sustained interference of light. Diffraction due to a single slit width of a central maximum polarization plane, polarized light, Brewster law, usage of plane polarized light and polarized. Dual nature of matter and radiation. Dual nature of radiation, photoelectric effect, Hertz and Leonard observation. Einstein photoelectric equation, particular nature of light, matter waves, waves nature of particle, de Broglie relation. Atom and nuclei, which is common in chemistry also student. In this you can study alpha particle scattering experiment, Rutherford model of atom, Bohr model, energy level N1, N2, N3, hydrogen spectrum, composition and size of nucleus, atomic masses, energy relation, mass defect, binding energy per nucleons and its variation with mass number, nuclear fusion and fusion. Electronic devices, semiconductor diode, IV characteristics in forward and reverse bias, diode as a IV characteristics, LED, photodiode, solar cell, Zener diode as a voltage regulator, logic gate OR and NOT NOR. Experimental skill, families with the basic approach and observation of the experiment and activities. Vernier caliper, its used to measure the internal and external diameter and depth of a vessel. A screw gauge is used to determine the thickness, diameter, thin sheet wire, simple pendulum dissipation of energy by plotting a graph between the square of amplitude of and time. Meter scale the mass of a given object by the principle of a moment's Young modulus of electricity of the material of a metallic wire, surface tension of water by capillary rise and effect of detergent, coefficient of viscosity of a given viscous liquid of by measuring the terminal velocity of a given spherical body, a speed of a sound in air at room temperature using a resonance tube, a specific heat capacity of a given solid liquid by method of mixtures, the resistivity of material of a given wire using a meter bridge, the resistance of a given wire using Ohm's law, resistance and figure of merit of a galvanometer by half deflection method, the focal length of convex mirror, concave mirror and convex lens using the parallax method. The plot of the angle of deviation versus angle of incidence for a triangular prism. The refractive index of a glass slab using a traveling microscope, characteristics curve of a PN junction diode in forward and reverse bias, characteristics curve of a Zener diode and finding reverse breakdown voltage, identification of diode lead resistors, a capacitor from a mixed collection such items. So these come under physics. Now we move to the chemistry. So syllabus is wide and you have to learn. जितना ज़्यादा पढ़ोगे बच्चों उतना ज़्यादा सीखते जाओगे. सो आपको पढ़ना तो है ही, बिना पढ़े कुछ नहीं होता है. लाइफ का एक ही फंडा है, यू हैव टू लर्न, यू हैव टू स्टडी. स्टडी तो करना पड़ेगा आपको जीवन में, स्टडी तो आपको करना ही पड़ेगा. देयर इज नो अदर चॉइस, देयर इज नो अदर अल्टरनेटिव. कोई उसका दूसरा अल्टरनेटिव है ही नहीं. ठीक है, चलिए अब केमिस्ट्री के सिलेबस को डिस्कस करेंगे. तो आज हम लोग IIT JEE, फिर JEE मेन जो कर रहे हैं, फिर JEE एडवांस कर देंगे, फिर नीट का कर देंगे. 11-12 का सारा आपका सिलेबस मैं कंप्लीट करा दूंगा. उसके बाद हम लोग हर एक चैप्टर वाइज पे आ जाएंगे. हर एक चैप्टर आपको दिया जाएगा, उसमें PYQ करा दिया जाएगा, फिर आपको मॉडल टेस्ट पेपर करा दिया जाएगा, फिर आपको जितने जितने NCERT के क्वेश्चन है वो मैं लगवा दूंगा. सो यहाँ से आपका फिर हर एक मतलब आपका जो कंसेप्ट है वो क्लियर होता चला जाएगा. सो सिलेबस रिवाइज मल्टीपल टाइम्स एंड देन आफ्टर रिवाइजिंग द सिलेबस you have to go for the PYQ and then after PYQ must do the in times the mock paper. जितना ज़्यादा मॉक पेपर स्टूडेंट बच्चे लोग लगा लोगे, कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल हाई. तो जेई को फोड़ना है, जेई को आपको टारगेट करना है, हिट करना है और उसको आपको ब्रेक करना है, क्रैक करना है. सो बच्चे लोग चलिए आते हैं केमिस्ट्री, सम बेसिक कंसेप्ट ऑफ केमिस्ट्री. सिलेबस का जो पहला पार्ट आ जाएगा मैटर एंड इट्स नेचर, डाल्टन एटॉमिक थ्योरी, कंसेप्ट ऑफ एटम, मोलेकुल, एलिमेंट एंड कंपाउंड्स, लॉज ऑफ केमिकल कॉम्बिनेशन, एटॉमिक एंड मोलेकुलर मासेस, मोल कंसेप्ट, मोलर मासेस, परसेंटेज कंपोजिशन, empirical and molecular formula, chemical equation and stoichiometry. यूनिट 2 में आ जाएगा एटॉमिक स्ट्रक्चर, नेचर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक रेडिएशन, फोटोइलेक्ट्रिक इफेक्ट, स्पेक्ट्रम ऑफ हाइड्रोजन एटम, बोर्स मॉडल ऑफ अ हाइड्रोजन एटम एंड इट्स पोस्टुलेट, डेविएशन, सारे पॉइंट का मैं वीडियो आपको मिल जाएगा। द रिलेशन ऑफ द एनर्जी of the electron and the radii of the different orbits, limitations of Bohr's model, dual nature of matter, de Broglie relationship, Heisenberg uncertainty principle, elementary idea of quantum mechanics, the quantum mechanical model of the atom and its important features, concept of atomic orbital as one electron wave function, variation of and with 1s 2s orbital, various quantum number principle, angular momentum, magnetic quantum number, spin and their significance, shapes of इसका कैसा शेप है, स्फेरिकल, p डम्बल, d डबल डम्बल, f कॉम्प्लेक्स, इलेक्ट्रॉन स्पिन एंड स्पिन क्वांटम नंबर, रूल्स फॉर फिलिंग इलेक्ट्रॉन्स इन ऑर्बिटल, क्या क्या रूल्स लगेंगे आपको, अबाउ प्रिंसिपल, पॉली एक्सक्लूजन प्रिंसिपल and Horn's rule, electronic configuration of elements and extra stability of half filled and completely filled orbital. Chemical bonding and molecular structure. So student, cost-lavish approach to chemical bond formation, the concept of ionic and covalent bond, ionic bonding, formation of ionic bonds, factors affecting the formation of ionic bond, calculation of lattice enthalpy, covalent bonding, concept of electronegativity, Fison's rule, dipole moment, valence shell electron pair, repulsion, theory and shapes of simple molecules, quantum mechanical approach of covalent bonding, valence bond theory, its important feature, the concept of hybridization involving SPD orbital resonance. Molecular orbital theory, its important feature, LCA or linear combination of atomic orbitals, types of molecular orbitals, bonding and anti-bonding, sigma and pi bonds, molecular orbital, electronic configuration of harmonically atomic molecule, the concept of bond order, bond length, bond energy, length of the bond, how much bond energy it has, elementary idea of metallic bonding, hydrogen bonding and its application. Unit 4 student, we have to learn chemical thermodynamics, fundamental of thermodynamics, system and surrounding, extensive and intensive properties, state function, entropy, types of process, the first law of thermodynamics, concept of work, heat, internal energy and enthalpy, heat capacity, molar heat capacity, Hess law, constant heat summation, enthalpy of bond dissociation, combustion, formation, atomization, sublimation, phase transition, hydration, ionization and solution. The second law of thermodynamics, again we have to know spontaneity. Either the reaction is spontaneous or not spontaneous. Spontaneous means freely, naturally occurring process. पानी का बहना, हवा का बहना. So the process which occur naturally is called spontaneous. Dress of universe and delta of a system. As criteria for spontaneity, del G naught standard gives free energy changes and equilibrium constant. Solutions. Different method for expressing the concentrating of solution, molarity, mole fraction, percentage by volume and mass, both the vapor pressure of solution and Raoult's law, ideal and non-ideal solutions, vapor pressure, composition plots for ideal and non-ideal solution, colligative property of dilute solution, a relative lowering of vapor pressure, depression of freezing point, the elevation of boiling points, anosmotic pressure, determination of molecular masses using colligative property, abnormal value of molar mass, want of factor and its significance, equilibrium. Meaning of equilibrium is the concept of dynamic equilibrium. Equilibrium involving physical process, solid liquid, liquid gas, gas gas, liquid gas equilibria, Henry's law. General characteristics of equilibrium involving physical process. Next student, we have to know equilibrium involving chemical process. Law of chemical equilibria, equilibrium constant Kp and Kc and their significance, the significance of del G and del G naught in chemical equilibrium, factor affecting equilibrium concentration, pressure, temperature, the effect of catalyst, Le principle. Next, we have to know ionic equilibrium. Weak and strong electrolytes, ionization of electrolytes, various concept of acids and bases, Arrhenius, Bronsted, Lowry and Lewis concept and their ionization. Acid-base equilibria including multi-stage ionization and ionization constant, ionization of water, pH scale, common ion effect, hydrolysis of salt, pH of their solution, the solubility of sparingly soluble salt, solubility product and buffer solution. Redox reaction and electrochemistry, electronic concept of oxidation and reduction, redox reaction, oxidation number, rules for assigning oxidation number and balancing redox reaction, electrolytic and metallic conduction, conductance in electrolytic solution, molar conductivity and their variations with concentration, Coriolis law and its application, electrochemical cell, electrolytic and galvanic cell, different types of electrodes, electrode potentials, including a standard electrode potential, half cell and cell reaction, EMF of a galvanic cell and its measurement, Nernst equation and its application, relation between cell potential and Gibbs energy. In the physical chemistry in last unit, we have to learn chemical kinetics in which we study the rate of reaction. किस रेट से आपका हो रहा है reaction. Rate of a chemical reaction, zero order, first order, second order, nth order. Factor affecting the rate of a reaction, concentration, temperature, pressure and catalyst. किन वजहों से reaction हो रहा है. And complex reaction, zero order, first order. उसके बाद हम लोग को सीखना ऑर्डर एंड मोलिकुलरिटी ऑफ रिएक्शंस, रेट लॉ, रेट कांस्टेंट एंड इट्स यूनिट्स, differential and integral form of zero and first order reaction, their characteristics and half-lives, the effect of temperature on the rate of reaction, Arrhenius theory, activation energy and its calculation, collision theory of bimolecular gaseous reaction, no deviation. Inorganic chemistry, classification of elements and periodicity in property, modern periodic law and present form of periodic table, SPDF block element, periodic trend in property of element, atomic and ionic radii, कितना एटम का रेडिया है, कितना आयन का रेडिया है, अनेस एंथैल्पी, इलेक्ट्रॉन गेन एंथैल्पी, वैलेंस oxidation state and chemical reactivity. P block elements, group 13 to group 18 element, general introduction, electronic configuration and trends in physical and chemical properties of elements across the periods and down the groups, unique behavior of the first element in each group, unit 11, D and A block elements, transition elements, general introduction, electronic configuration, occurrence and characteristics, General trends in properties of first law transition element, physical property, ionization enthalpy, oxidation state, atomic radii, color, catalyst behavior, magnetic property, complex formation, interstitial compound, alloy formation, preparation, property and usage of K2Cr2O7 and KMNO4. Inner transition element, lanthanoids, electronic configuration, oxidation state and lanthanoid contraction, actinodes series, electronic configuration and oxidation state. So now student, we are moving to unit 12 chemistry coordination compound. So which inorganic chemistry we have to know introduction to coordination compound, Werner theory, ligand, coordination number, density, chelation, IUPAC nomenclature of mononuclear coordination compound, isomerism bonding, valence bond approach and basic ideas. Crystal field theory, color and magnetic property, importance of coordination compound in qualitative analysis, extraction of metals in biological system. Next student, we have to know organic chemistry. Purification and characterization of organic compounds. Purification, crystallization, sublimation, distillation, differential extraction and chromatography. Principle and their correct application. Qualitative analysis, detection of nitrogen, sulfur, phosphorus and halogen. Quantitative analysis, estimation of carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, halogen, sulfur and phosphorus. Calculation of empirical formula and molecular formula, numerical problem, inorganic quantitative analysis. यूनिट 14 स्टूडेंट बेसिक प्रिंसिपल ऑफ ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री। पहला आप केमिस्ट्री के बारे में जानोगे, कार्बन कंपाउंड के बारे में जानोगे, क्या होता है टेट्रावैलेंसी, उसका कैसे कंप्लीट होता है, कैसे उस तरीके से उसका ऑक्टेट कंप्लीट होता है, कार्बन को 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन चाहिए होता है उसका ऑक्टेट को कंप्लीट करने के लिए, और वो स्टेबल स्टेट मॉलिक्यूल का फॉर्मेशन करता है। टेट्रावैलेंसी ऑफ अ कंपाउंड, शेप्स ऑफ सिंपल मॉलिक्यूल्स, हाइब्रिडाइजेशन, एस एंड पी, classification of organic compounds based on functional group and those containing halogen, oxygen, nitrogen and sulfur, homologous series, isomerism, structural and stereoisomerism. Nomenclature, trivial and IUPAC, covalent bond fission, homolytic and heterolytic, free radicals, carbocation and carbanion, stability of carbocation and free radical, electrophiles and nucleophiles, electronic displacement in a covalent bond, inductive effect, electromeric effect, resonance and hyperconjugation. Common type of organic reaction, substitution, addition, elimination and rearrangement. Hydrocarbon student. Classification of isomerism, IUPAC nomenclature, general method of preparation, properties and reactions. Alkanes, conformers, Sahor's and Newman projection of ethane, mechanism of halogenation of alkanes we have to learn geometric isomerism, mechanism of electrophilic addition of hydrogen, halogen, water, hydrogen halides, Markovnikovs and peroxide effect, ozonolysis and polymerization. Alkynes, acidic character, addition of hydrogen, halogens, water and halogen halides, polymerization. Aromatic hydrocarbon nomenclature, benzene, structure and aromaticity, mechanism of electrophilic substitution, halogen nitration, Friedel-Crafts alkylation and acylation, directive influence of functional group in monosubstituted benzene, organic compound containing halogens, general method of preparation, properties and reactions, nature of CX bond, mechanism of substitution reaction, usage, environmental effects of chloroform, iodoform, freons and DDT. Organic compound containing oxygen, general method of preparation, property, reaction and usage, alcohol, phenol and ethers. Identification of primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol, mechanism of dehydration, phenol, acidic nature, electrophilic substitution reaction, halogenation, nitration, sulfonation, dimer reaction. Ethers, structure, aldehyde and ketones. Aldehyde and ketones, nature of carbonyl group, nucleophilic addition to CO carbonyl group, relative reactivity of aldehyde and ketones, important reactions such as nucleophilic addition of HCN, ammonia and its derivative, pregnant reagent, oxidation reduction, Wald-Kirschner and Clemenson, and the acidity of hydrogen aldol condensation, Cannizzaro reaction, haloform reaction, chemical test to distinguish between aldehyde and ketones. We have to know. बच्चों, carboxylic acid, acidic strength and factors affecting it, unit 18. Organic compounds containing nitrogen. General method of preparation of properties, reaction and usage. Amines, we have to first know nomenclature, classification, structure, basic character and identification of primary, secondary and tertiary amines and their basic character. Diazonium salt, importance in synthetic organic chemistry. Biomolecules, unit 19, we have to learn general introduction and importance of biomolecules. Carbohydrates, classification, aldose, ketones, monosaccharide, glucose and fructose, and constituent monosaccharide of oligosaccharide, sucrose, lactose and maltose. Protein, elementary idea of amino acid, peptides, bond, polypeptides, protein, primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary structure, qualitative idea only. Denaturation of protein, enzymes. Vitamin, classification and function. Nucleic acid, chemical constitution of DNA, RNA, biological function of nucleic acid. Hormones, general introduction. Principle related to practical chemistry. Detection of extra element nitrogen, sulfur, halogen in organic compounds. Detection of the following function group: hydroxyl, alcoholic and phenolic, carbonyl, aldehyde and ketones, carboxyl and amino group in the organic compounds. The chemistry involved in the preparation of the following: inorganic compound, Mohr salt, potash, alum. Organic compound, acetanilide, paranitro, acetanilide, aniline, yellow iodoform. The chemistry involved in trimetric exercise, acidic bases, and the usage of indicator, oxalic acid versus KMnO4, Mohr salt, potassium permanganate. Chemical principle involved in the qualitative salt analysis, cations, Pb2 plus, U2 plus, L3 plus, Ap3 plus, Zn2 plus, Na2 plus, calcium 2 plus, barium 2 plus, magnesium, ammonium ions, anions, CO3 2 minus, H2 minus, S4 2 minus, NO3, nitrate ion, Na2 minus, Cl minus, Br minus, insoluble salt excluded. Chemical principle involved in the following experiment: enthalpy solution of copper sulfate, enthalpy of neutralization of a strong acid and a strong base, preparation of lyophilic and lyophobic salts. Philic means a student love, attraction. Lyo means liquid, liquid love, liquid को अट्रैक्ट करने वाला, लायोफिलिक. लायोफोबिक, लिक्विड को रिपेल करने वाला, फोबिया, फियर. ठीक है. सो लिक्विड लव, लिक्विड रिपेल, लायोफोबिक एंड लायोफिलिक. Kinetic study of reaction of iodide ions with hydrogen peroxide at room temperature. So student, you have to work a lot, you have to learn a lot to qualify IIT JEE. JEE को फोड़ना है, JEE को क्रैक करना है. So you have to do more effort. Put all effort, you will get sure success. सक्सेस को पाने के लिए आपको खूब दिलो जान से मेहनत करना पड़ेगा. यू हैव टू वर्क ट्रेमेंडस. आप जितना ज़्यादा पढ़ते जाओगे उतना ज़्यादा आप सीखते जाते हो स्टूडेंट. सिलेबस फॉर जेई मेन बी आर्किटेक्चर. सो आज हम लोग इंजीनियरिंग वाले के लिए रहने देते हैं. नेक्स्ट सेशन में हम लोग वी आर्किटेक्चर को देखेंगे. So this is all for the today. Thank you.